our first Masters program of the year. We'll have one of these every day at 3 o'clock right here. Today we have Bob Shank, and Bob is, I don't know, he's kind of a musical wizard. He's from Morgantown, and he plays hammer dulcimer, and he plays a variety of banjo styles. He also plays guitar. He's one of those gentlemen that whatever he plays, it's tasteful, and he plays it very well. And I want to welcome Bob Shank. So let's give him a big hand.
Gosh, thanks. I was almost ready. I was going to tune this banjo and start with it. So I'm still in the tune of banjo.
What I'm saying.
Just raise your hand when I get it. It's really a comedy act. I can't really play this thing. I grew up in Mineral County, West Virginia, and guess what they have there? Minerals. But they also have banjos. And Mineral County is at the base of the eastern panhandle. Let's see. You know West Virginia.
Yeah.
It's right here. And now I live right up here in the corner. But it was all bluegrass. All the banjo players played bluegrass because it was the 60s and bluegrass was it. Unlike now where nobody listens to bluegrass. But my dad took me to his friend Jerry Stagg's house. I think he was instrumental in making a banjo appear under the Christmas tree one year. I was probably 11 or 12 years old. Jerry gave me my banjo lesson. And he taught me how to play Home Sweet Home with chords in single C tuning like this. You know, you get the idea. And then I got that Earl Scruggs record. Finally got someone to show me what I'd read about, which was clawhammer, but nobody did it. I was finally one at a jam session where Roger Sprung, of all people, came to Mineral County, but somebody knew how to do a basic frail, and over the years, Home Sweet Home is still there. apologize. I'm one of those people that when even it gets this humid, I add to the humidity. This banjo I traded another bluegrass banjo for this banjo in 1973, which was the year I met my first like really good old West Virginia banjo players. I made a pilgrimage to Woody Simmons' house and had a wonderful evening getting to know Woody and playing music. And then I had a summer job playing with a band out in the Eastern Panhandle, and I met this guy named Andy Borman. And Andy was, he finally did pass away. He told everybody he was dying for about the last 30 years of his life, but he was a great guy. What a banjo man. And the pot on this banjo is a lot like a broken microphone. No, just I can get this away from me. It's very unusual. It looks like it has a resonator, but it doesn't. Well, it does, but the resonator's not on it. It's hanging on my wall because I'm concave, or I'm convex, and so is the resonator. So I don't, maybe someone could invent a concave banjo resonator, custom made for old guys. Andy wouldn't. It was hard to get him to play, but he played a little bit of this stuff that I had never heard. It was like, you can't do that on the banjo. What he played was some Schottish, and I don't remember what it was, but he told me about the American Banjo Fraternity. These people that play banjos from notes, from those black dots and circles and lines. So I'm curious. So I finally went to one of their meetings, and they all knew this tune, and it's a good summertime tune. And thanks, Andy. Woody played a little bit of classic stuff too when you got him. He could remember a little bit, but it was all the rage 100 years ago, playing 5-string banjo with your fingers. This one's called the Sunflower Dance. The thing I mainly came to demonstrate today is what a bad idea it is to play a tune you haven't played in a few months in front of people. But it's not a good idea. Let's see. brought 3 banjos because I thought maybe you'd be interested, you banjo players would like to see them. This one, some of my friends call this my manjo. But, it's you can buy one of these round things from Gold Tone, but you can't buy one of these because it's a custom-made neck and you can't have it. I made a list of things I wanted to play, and it was too long, so I just play a little bit. One of the first when I got this banjo, I was doing a little recording project for a company that sells music you can buy to put behind your ads and your, you know, all that stuff. Music for rent. And it was a Civil War themed thing. And my buddy, the fiddler on the project, said, "Let's play this tune." It's a Civil War air tune called Patter-Roller. And I think I can remember it. Engineer said, "Just do that all the way through." And I discovered what this thing was really meant for. It was to do this. So not long after that, I was walking around my walking circle in my house, living room, dining room, kitchen, playing the banjo and fooling with sort of that song and making stuff up. And there was, I came through the living room, and there in front of the living room window, curled up, was one of my black snakes that are supposed to live outside. And so I evicted him, and then I finished writing this tune, and I called it Roller Snake. once again, I haven't played that in months. That wasn't even on the list I made.
Still cool.
I can't play. I'm sorry, that's embarrassing. So that's the big fat banjo.
Do one of them marches on there that you do on the big banjo,
I'll try.
please.
It's a C. I'm gonna strap this thing on.
Uh-oh, getting serious.
It's a banjo. You really can't be that serious. That's called the Berkeley March, and I forget who wrote it. But that's another one of the standards that everybody knows. It's sort of like Soldier's Joy of that world. Well, the Sunflower Dance is the real one that I played earlier. Okay, that's enough of this. Watch out. Tim warned me about that. This is my albatross. It's a hammer dulcimer. I'm going to start with a Pocahontas County tune that I've been playing for many years. I've played it with a full-blown rock and roll band, which was fun too. But called Shaking Down the Acorns. Thank you. So now I'll go over, that's Pocahontas County. Let's go over to Kanawha County, where my friend Jenny Allender lives, and play a tune that Jenny wrote when her niece was trying out her first tricycle. Her niece was 5, and she had only figured out how to make it go backwards. And it inspired Jenny to write this odd little tune called Three Wheel Hannah. By a Sufi poet named Hafiz, and I don't know the poem. But the gist was, don't worry about the moon, just dance. That's erased. So I picked up someone's guitar once, and it was tuned in DADGAD, D-A-D-G-A-D, DADGAD, and it dawned on me that it was just like sawmill or modal tuning on the 5-string banjo, except it would come out in a different key. And I've hardly tuned a guitar in regular tuning since. So then I figured out I could play climb or guitar. I'd never seen anyone do it, but it seemed logical to me. Everything comes out just like on the banjo, except in the wrong key, or in a different key. There's no wrong key, unless you're a fiddler. recognize that even though it was in the wrong key.
Elzix.
That's Elzix. Or as Bobby Taylor says, the guy's real name was Ellswick. And I trust Bobby because he was the state archivist until he retired. So, and the guy was a preacher and a fiddler. He played that at his mother's request when she was dying. So it's just really sad. Well, I'm going to try one that I made up on clawhammer guitar. No, it's not really clawhammer guitar. It's just on the guitar. Maybe I shouldn't, because I've played better than I am today. But it's called In the Meadow. I'll give it a shot, and you give me some slack. I have no idea what time it is.
You got 15.
15? Okay, I'm going to get my ring banjo out now. You guys know what this is? It's different. But it is a 5-string banjo.
It's like the back of a clock.
It's like what?
Back of a clock.
Yeah, it's like the back of a clock. I like to say it has a helical thread. You guys are welcome to. You're welcome to come up and look at these banjos. Try them out if you want. In a minute. So I used to play bluegrass, put finger picks on, play old time, take them off, put them in my pocket, lose them, drop them. And then I discovered that I could fortify my nails at the lovely nails parlor, and they don't wear out. And so you don't really need the finger picks. And I went for a long time, you know, sort of working on that, being able to switch back and forth. And then I put the finger picks back on again. I said, man, that sounds cool. That's called CRS, because I made it up and the next day I couldn't remember it. Luckily I had turned on a recording device, but I tried to get it back the next day. I was I meet some friends for dinner and I got there early and I was trying to get it in my head, and I got the banjo out of the trunk and sat there in my car and I couldn't get it back, so I called it CRS. Let's see. I still do like to be able to switch back and forth with finger style and claw hammer. Let me see if I can remember this. tell you the names before I play them. But that was Billy Caleb's march. Billy Caleb was a little toy poodle, and he could march. And the second one was Hymn for Ruthie. Ruthie Wilson was my neighbor growing up when I was a little kid, and scrubbed her front porch every day and played the piano in the Sunday school with great enthusiasm and some talent. But so I wrote that for Ruthie. Let's see. Sing along if you know the words. I like bluegrass too. No, that wasn't bluegrass, I'm sorry. Let's see. So I was in this band when I was wasting my youth, and we were pretty lucky. We got to go a lot of interesting places, and one of the places we did concerts was in Tunisia, and that was fun. And many years later, I was playing at the Arts and Crafts Show over in Ripley, West Virginia, and it was 104. It was literally 104 degrees, and the humidity was about 90%. So you just took one instrument and a towel and went out and did your half-hour set, and then retreated to air conditioning. And Tim was trading banjos, and there was a big, he had an Orpheum. I picked up that Orpheum banjo, and all of a sudden I was in the desert in Tunisia again, and I started playing this little riff. And Alan Freeman and Jenny Allender started playing along with me, and other people in the room just looked at us like we were nuts. But that evolved and to a tune that I call Tunisian Radio. We did a gig with the Tunisian Radio Orchestra. It was the only orchestra I've ever witnessed that had a qanun. So it's Tunisian Radio. I have a clock. I have a clock. I'm gonna look at it.
You got 10 minutes at least.
Oh, really? He lied.
I got the timer. You got 30 minutes to go, Bob.
I was flattered when this tune got played at the Vandalia Gathering this past year in one of the concerts, and I wasn't even there. And my young, who used to be my protege, Nick Freeman, played it in the concert. That's really cool. I'm going to play it for you. I called it Mist, and Nick doesn't like that name. So, being 21 years old and having high-level iPhone skills, he looked up the Latin word for mist, and he wants it to call it Caligo, which is okay with me. He can call it anything he wants. I'm going to call it Mist, because where I live, there's a lot of mist. I'll play it. Yeah, I'll be around tonight till morning.
Great. Tonight at 7, we're having a monster jam right here. So bring your instrument at 7 o'clock. We'll have a big jam session. Come up and check out his banjos. He'll let you rent them for 15 minutes at a time.
Who's bringing the monster?
Right, I think we gotta move up.
It still leaks, man. I can play some tie rods, some balls, it's a brand new Explorer on the inside. We've replaced nearly every part in that car except for the engine. It's 300,000 plus. Second transmission. You should be playing that with. Well, it's got another volume. Yeah, man. They were running in the ground.
You mostly do. That would I went to Mike's and it sounds like it's too great right there. The first thing I said, Brandon loved it. Yeah, got it. What do you call it?
Yeah, I want it.
Well, enjoy it. I like man, we made it.
Tim, I'm gonna check this out for a second.
Are you gonna play it back there?
Yeah. Actually, I'm good.
He's got all the mics unplugged up on the stage, so
It shouldn't matter. We're mobbed up.
It's a whole new world.
You can't get in a hurry with this thing. So.